bit. I think people, a lot of people only pay attention to track and field when the Olympics roll around, but especially in Europe, there are a tremendous amount of meets, and it can be something that's, a good professional job, but it still is super competitive. What is it like trying to carve out a living, et cetera, when you're a post-college Olympic-level athlete?
Pretty tough because, when the season starts, we may spend, a month over in Europe competing, because pretty much that's where the money is at.
Right.
I'm glad Michael Johnson and some other people are putting together meets, to help us make money and help our U.S. citizens see us on a national stage. Hopefully they get a TV deal and we get some guys like Noah in there, just so that, we can, boost the sport up, so we don't have to spend so much time in Europe just to make a living.
Right.
But yeah, we'll spend months in Europe just because that's where the money is at, basically.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're still performing at a tremendously high level, and again in the 2004 trials, you win the triple jump. You had done the long jump and did that, and your triple jump in 2004 is still an Olympic trials record. That must have been one of the peak performances of your career.
Oh, yeah. I had been, I thought I was going to try to run a 2 and a 4 in 2004, actually. That's what I thought I was going to do. And I was actually training with Coach Lance Brahman when he was at Arkansas. And late in the season, I decided that I did want to jump as well. And so I did more jumping, but that sprint base, it had me so ready, not quite ready for what was about to happen, but it had me ready to basically jump, 2.5 feet further than I'd ever jumped in my life.
Right. That's pretty incredible. Talk a little bit about your track and field experience. Obviously, you're known more as for your jumps because that's where you participated in the Olympics, but you loved running, as you said. Talk a little bit about that side of it.
Sometimes I wished I could have found a way to keep running. I enjoyed it. Arkansas didn't need me to jump.
Right.
And they stressed that. We recruited you to be a jumper, and if you win your jumps, we'll put these other pieces together and we'll win as a team. But I mean, I can't say I didn't have fun in it all. I met a lot of cool guys, and we all had fun, and we won some national championships. We won some conference championships.
Mm-hmm.
It was track is fun. I don't know how anybody can't have fun in track and field.
Well, the 2004 Olympics were in Athens. Tell us about that experience.
Athens is a nice place. So when we went over there, my parents got to go this time. And so I was able to show them, kind of what this World Athletics thing is about. And we went over there. And of course, I didn't perform as well as I could have or should have at the time.
Right.
So I got another one that's down.
Right.
But I had more fun in Athens because I had my parents there and I was able to show them some things. So,
well, even though you had a slightly disappointing experience, that's 2 Olympics on the books. That's pretty amazing. So you do keep running, but you do keep doing your track and field. After that Olympics, you eventually would get an injury in 2005. But after 2004, what was the game plan then?
It was to keep competing as long as I could.
Right.
At that point, I had no intention of retiring. It was a pretty bad sprain on my ankle that kind of got me started a downward slope.
Mm-hmm.
And then little nagging injuries that wouldn't let me snap back like when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So, after a while, you do more damage to your name than good. So I decided to go ahead and stop.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
Hey Kansas City, Joe Spiker, Easton Roofing here. I know that picking a roofing company can be a daunting task. Here at Easton Roofing, we treat homeowners like family and look forward to winning your trust. We abide by the adage of doing the right thing, especially when nobody is looking. From the moment you reach out and book an appointment to the day we finish your project, we're here with you. Check that roofing project off of your list. Pick up the phone and give us a call, 913-257-5426. Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
It's always a pleasure to catch up with Dr. Brad Woodle from Advanced Sports and Family Chiropractic and Acupuncture, 8 locations all around Kansas City, the latest in Raytown. Pick out the one that's most convenient for you and pick it out this fall. If you've got a young athlete who needs a little bit of treatment or tender, loving care, injuries can happen, little strains can happen, and Dr. Woodle, you can help them out.
We take care of athletes both in prevention and in those injuries. Things happen. But the most exciting thing is we can take care of almost anything that deals with bones, muscles, joints. Whether it's a sprain, strain, or a concussion, we can take care of that athlete.
That you can at all the locations around Kansas City, and you can get that treatment, your own treatment, all the treatments you want to make you feel better, body, mind, and spirit at Advanced Sports and Family Chiropractic and Acupuncture. Visit asfca.com/Danny. That's asfca.com/Danny.
If you'd like to join these and other fine sponsors and market your business on Kansas City's #1 rated podcast, contact us at Danny@DannyKlinkscale.com. Look forward to working with you.
Our guest is Melvin Lister III. He'll be inducted into the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame next month in Topeka, already a member of the Leavenworth High School Hall of Fame and the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame as well. So when that happens, sometimes people have to sort of decide whether they're going to retire or not, and you did that, but injury was part of it. What was that transition like away from participating? That must be tough.
It was really tough. I didn't want to watch track meets, and I felt like I should still be competing. I got to my let's see, what was 2006? My son was born.
Okay.
And I had something else to focus on. So once I was able to focus on that, it kind of helped me get back into it, start watching, and not want to be away from it. Once that happened, he decided he didn't want to run track for me. So, but I got to be his coach in other sports, baseball and football and basketball. Then, when my daughter was born, and at 10 years old, she told me, she said, "Daddy, I want to jump." Mm-hmm. And that lit up my world. I tell everybody this: if you get an opportunity to help your kid in something you enjoy too, help them be successful in it, I wish that on every parent, because that is the best feeling the absolute best feeling in the world.
Well, your wife, I'm looking at her picture and your pictures here on Facebook in front of me, and her name's Andrea. How did you two get together?
At the University of Arkansas is where we first met. Kind of talked for a little while, and then she graduated and moved on. And then I seen her again in 2005. Mm-hmm. She came back because she was a cheerleader on the University of Arkansas team, and she used to come back every year to judge tryouts.
Right.
So we met up again, we've seen each other, and she lived in Tulsa. So we started talking again and decided that we were going to give it a try this time. Well, and 17 years later.
You did give it a try, that's for sure. So when you're transitioning out of participating and then your son's born, what was the career path for you at that point?
It was tough because all I've known was sports. So.
Right, yeah.
I worked at Circuit City for a while and Best Buy, and then I, found out that I love electronics and doing things like that. So I started working for a company, working with cabling. So I worked with fiber optic cable, Cat 5 and Cat 6 and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And now I've went into, then I did, worked for a company in New Orleans. We moved to New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And I did a lot of advanced home theater and automation stuff. Mm-hmm. And now I work for AT&T. I'm a central office technician in AT&T.
Right.
and work in a building downtown Oklahoma City.
So you settled in Oklahoma. Your wife's from Oklahoma, as we noted, and obviously now you coach in Oklahoma. And you talked about the development of your daughter. Tell me about raising 3 kids and how that's gone for you as your job career in electronics has moved along.
Well, raising 3 kids is tough, especially when they know it all. You know, I guess these kids these days, they know it all. But it was tough because I wanted to help my sons be good at sports.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, that wasn't something they wanted to hear, I guess. Like,
right.
I don't know. I didn't know what I was talking about. I don't know. So in that sense, it was tough. But, I mean, they've always made good grades. They've been good kids.
Right.
You know, but it wasn't until my daughter came to me and said she wanted to run. She wanted to jump, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Is when my world changed.
Right.
And I'm head over heels back into track and field. I've had 3 knee surgeries showing my daughter, you know, stuff.
Right. Well, that's a sacrifice for sure.
Last 4 years. In the last 4 years, I've had 3 knee surgeries.
Oh, wow.
So
that's dedication to coaching and teaching. That's for sure. So is she?
Well, I had to promise my wife I wouldn't do it anymore. So
there you go. How? So she came to you at age 10. How old is she now? About 14?
She's 13.
13.
She's in her first year of high school.
Right.
And we are gearing up to do some big things. Last year, she jumped 18-1 as a 13-year-old. So it's gearing up to be big. And I'll keep everybody informed. I gotta make a page for her so that we can document all of this.
Right.
I'm calling it now. I want her to make the 28 Olympic team.
There you go. When you're a highly accomplished athlete, is it difficult sometimes to translate that over to coaching? Sometimes the very best have trouble coaching because they expect so much of their pupils. What's that like?
You got to get to a point where you can meet the athlete where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to not expect excellence out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Fact of the matter is, everybody doesn't have it. But you got to coach them as if they do have it, but meeting them where they are. So I think you just need to be a good teacher. You have to find out how to get the message over to that person.
Mm-hmm.
And once you do that, then I think you can get good results out of that athlete. But every athlete's different. There is no one way to coach. You have to be flexible. So it's a lot that goes into coaching. And the ones that are good, I take my hat off to you, because I didn't know it was this tough to coach us.
Right.
Even the athletes that are great, that have God-given ability, you know, it's hard to coach some of them sometimes because you got to get that message across. And it's gotta sink in. It's gotta work.
You do a little college coaching too at Southern Nazarene, so you've come to that strategy as far as meeting people where they are with that, in addition to your regular work.
Yeah. At this point now, I am just trying to, I guess, give back. I enjoy helping younger people achieve goals. Like, I've understood that about myself now, that I really enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not coaching there now anymore, but a couple of the guys, call me and I help them out if they need help.
Right.
So,
well, you got a future Olympian to concentrate on too, so you got to do a little of that, right?
And she does everything I tell her. She does it. She may not like it, and you can see that she doesn't like it.
Right.
But she does it. It's so easy to coach her. This was a dream come true.
Right. Well, I'm looking at this Facebook page here, and it's called "It's Not Just Cake" OKC. Tell me a little bit about that business.
Well, my wife's family is a family of bakers.
Uh-huh.
So passed down from my wife's grandmother to her mother to her. And,